A professional and well-known streetball player is taking the game of basketball to all new heights. Known to the world as Sauce, Cory Brown has been seen everywhere, from his days with And One playing on ESPN, to playing with Ball Up Streetball on Fox Sports 1, playing with Court Kings, and as well as playing professional ball overseas. This man is big, let me just tell you that. The list goes on and on. So joining us right now, the one and only Cory Sauce Brown. What's going on?
How you doing, everybody? What's up, world? Cory Sauce Brown. We're ready to take this by storm. Thank you for having me this morning.
All right, so what's going on? You just got back from China, right?
Sure did. Just got back from China. I was in Beijing, China, and then I did a little outskirts in a place called Linyi, China. It was a great experience. Every year, I've been blessed to go to China from my manager. His name's Richard Zhang, and great manager. He's been able to get me out in China. This is my third year being in China. Every time I go, I always host Cory Sauce Brown basketball camp for the kids. Last year we had over 500 kids come out, and then this year was a good attendance too as well. It's always a good welcoming gift because I love giving back to the kids, and it touches me because every time I do a Cory Sauce Brown camp overseas, there's always a funny story that I'm able to tell when I come back to the States. But then right after that, it was time to get down to business. Had to hop into two-a-days for practices, and then had my games. And we, before I left, ended it off with an undefeated season.
All right, so let's back up a little bit. For those who don't know what streetball is, kind of explain that and how it's different from the NBA.
Streetball is great. This is where I started my roots out with. Everybody in the world plays streetball at some point in their time. Before they start with organized basketball, they're playing in the streets. They're playing in their backyards. They're playing on the courts outside with their family, friends. It doesn't matter. Everybody's played streetball before. But the type of streetball that I do is entertainment. A lot of people know the Harlem Globetrotters, but what I do and what my fellow colleagues and teammates do, we're not staged like the Harlem Globetrotters. So if I'm throwing it off somebody's head or if I'm throwing it through somebody's legs, it's not pre-scripted. So that's where the fun and entertainment happens because we do moves and tricks and highlight dunks off the defender's reaction. So a lot of people know the And One days where it blew up and took off, and then now branches of new generation like Ball Up and Court Kings, and just keeping the streetball world alive. So basically, it's tricks, entertainment, fun filled for family and everybody to come attend. And what's good about streetball is that us as players, even though we have a name and a brand and all that good stuff, we're not like NBA players or anything like that. So the fans and everybody can come up after the game, talk to us personally, take pictures with us, sign autographs and all that good stuff too as well. So it's a good interaction for family and kids.
So how do you keep coming up with these different moves? You guys have a lot of different moves, and I hardly ever see the same ones repeated.
It's crazy. It's crazy because a lot of our mindsets is different. I know a couple of my teammates, we have kind of like the same mindset when it comes to our tricks, but when our dunkers, I don't know where they come up with these dunks because to defy the law of gravity like that, it's unreal. I think they need to go to like Pluto or something because they're not from this planet. But me personally, I come up with my moves in my dreams. I think about a move. I think about a move in my dream, and the next day, or sometimes 3 a.m. in the morning, I'll practice that move, and the next day I will go to the court and see what the defender's reaction would be. And that's another way I think about my moves too as well. If the defender reacts one way, then I could counter or combo move that and create a new move. I just made up a couple new moves last month. One of them called the hopscotch, and the other one's called Back to the Future. I'm coming out with a video for both of those. And actually, if you go to my YouTube channel, Baby Sauce TV, my new Court Kings video has hopscotch in it, and it has a few plays that I cross somebody up too with that. So the hopscotch is a new deal.
I think you stole that one from me.
Well, the proof is in the pudding. I haven't seen your moves yet, so we'll have to see. Put a video out, we can compare.
We'll make that happen. So
Okay.
there are some people that think Streetball Entertainment's fake, that your defenders already know what moves you guys are going to do. Is any of this fake or is it for real?
I just want to let the people know out there, none of it is staged or faked. What When the tours was going on and the N1 and Ball Up and with Court Kings, we don't have what you call an open run. We pick players beforehand to play against, and just to let you know, everybody that we play are legit ball players too. So these are real games, and they're real ball players that we're playing against too. So the Ball Up Street Ball in the N1 days, we will have something called an open run. Open run is where you can come out and try out to be on the team or just to play that game and have fun that night. So if you think it's staged and fake, come try out and play against some of the top street ball players in the world. And if you don't get broken off or get dunked on, then, pat on the back to you. But other than that, we do what we do best.
Where are some of the girls at? You guys have girls out there?
What's funny right now is that it's starting to revolutionize a lot. There's been girls leagues and teams that's been coming up lately, but then there's something called the Basketball Beauties League. I'm not too familiar with this since I'm not affiliated with Ball Up anymore, and so, but then that's what they've been doing lately. So. But the girls, girls can hold their own too. There's no Title IX business or anything like that too. So I'll just let you know that I salute to all the females out there that is working hard at basketball and love the game just as well as we do.
One-on-one, you and Brittany Griner, you getting dunked on or not? I think so.
Well, that's a great size matchup. It's a guard versus a center, but I'm just saying that if I keep her out of the paint, it's all good.
I don't think you keeping her out the paint.
I'm gonna leave that to her and DeMarcus Cousins, with the one-on-one that they're going on.
Back to the kids. A lot of kids come out and watch you guys play. Any words of advice to them that want to be just like you guys?
Oh man, what I want to tell the kids is be better than us. Good players work out, but great players outwork. Every day you have to outwork. From the blessing of God that has been able to take me across the globe, there's a lot of kids and a lot of players that works hard, that works very, very, very hard. Especially in China, I see the discipline and I see the restraint that everybody has out there that wants to be great, that wants to be something, that wants to take this game of basketball to a whole nother level and make it their dream come true. And so, kids, what I tell you out there is never give up. Never give up. I don't care if somebody tells you that you're terrible. I don't care if somebody's throwing rocks at your throne. You got to take all that criticism and ball it up and put the fuel to your fire, because there was a lot of times that people told me that I wasn't big enough, I wasn't strong enough, I didn't have the IQ, I couldn't shoot or anything like that in my earlier years. And then I just took that fuel to my fire, got better every day, practiced long hours, blood, sweat, and tears, and sacrifice comes into play too as well. So get back to what you were saying, kids, never give up and stay dedicated.
Now, I've seen your jump shot. It's not that great. So how are you teaching these kids how to shoot? I don't know about that.
Well, that's one person's opinion to another. If you have been keeping up with me lately, my jump shot has been increased in my repertoire lately, so it's just like my handles, not as consistent as my handles because, humbly speaking, I'm one of the top ball handlers in the world. But with my jump shot, it has been greatly improved in my arsenal.
Why is it so important that street ball gives back to these kids?
I think it's very important that street ball gives back to the kids because think it's the roots, because you don't see a lot of NBA players or different activists in communities that goes to the courts or goes to the communities to give back. And when we were touring, and even on our individual aspects, we will go make sure that either a kid will have like a bottle of water, or a kid will be able to play with us one-on-one, or just have fun, just to run back and tell their friends or their families, saying like, hey, I got to see such and such. I got to see Cory Sauce Brown. I got to see this, that, and the third. And it makes their day, and it highlights them. So it's not us first. It's them, because they're our next generation. That's what I'm trying to say. They're the next generation. So we want to teach them the right things and show them that anything is possible, and you can do the same thing that we are too.
And you know, one thing that I love about basketball, street ball, whatever the case, or just sports in general, doesn't matter what race you are, where you live, what language you speak, everyone speaks the same language as basketball. That's sports.
Definitely. And if you have the same mindset as a basketball player, you want to get better every day. Like you mentioned, it doesn't matter what height, it doesn't matter what color you are, it doesn't matter where you've been brought up. As when you're a kid, it's about the love of the game. That's what's first, love of the game, and this is why we play.
And you do, when you post on social media, you do post a lot about God, thanking God for your success, for different moments that have happened to you. Why is that so important for you to do?
It's no question. God's first. God is very gracious, and I just read a verse earlier this morning, and it said that your hands and your craft was not given to you by yourself. It was by the man above through his gracious glory. And that made me think deeply, because I didn't do this. I didn't put myself in this position. It was the man above that put me and helped me to keep my dream alive. So I thank him every day for giving me the opportunities and to giving me the blessings like this one right here, this interview. I didn't know that I was ever going to meet Brittany Johnson. He put us in position, and so he put us in this position to share my story with you all and with the world, and for you to give me a great interview. So everything happens through him, and so least I can do is thank him, to thank him every day, and pray for more to come.
All right, so if you weren't hooping right now, what would you be doing? Because you do a lot of other things off the court.
Yeah, I do a lot of other things off the court. I like to spend time with my family, first and foremost. Secondly, always trying to help one another and somebody else too. I'm involved in different church groups and Bible studies, and always keeping the Lord first. So I want to incorporate that and mix it in to where Christian hoops and something for the kids. I want to be able to give back a whole bunch more than what I am right now, and looking for that opportunity or partnership with people right now to do that, and so other people and kids can fulfill their dreams just like I'm trying to, and keep going right now as well. And so all about each one teach one, and I'm ready to see this next generation explode.
Is the game of basketball missing anything right now?
Yeah, it's missing a lot, actually. The game of basketball is missing, the most that I see, especially in like an NBA game, is the heart. I think that some players just go out there just to play, and they don't have the love for it as much as they do anymore. I think because maybe it's the younger generation that you're seeing right now, because a lot of the vets are retiring, like Kobe just recently, and Tim Duncan as well. And so I feel like you don't see the gameplay and the style of basketball like the old days in our generation, where the Spurs basketball are that one person where they're on the highlight reel, but they win the game too as well. So I just feel like basketball's kind of boring a little bit, and it doesn't get hype until the playoffs. And you know, this past playoffs wasn't really too interesting to me as well because it went to Game 7 and a lot of people thought it was rigged, and so
it was rigged.
it was rigged because I said as soon as I saw your actually that's funny that you said it because I looked at your post on Instagram and you posted your NBA TV game schedule, and it said that the Cavaliers are like Golden State Warriors was already in the championship.
Yeah.
And I looked at that for like 5 minutes, and I was like, "Dang, that's low key conspiracy theory," you know. And
I'm
I
like,
hate it.
yo, how is it already up? And
It's
you don't even know if they're going to be playing it. They still got to play Game 7.
exactly, and it's funny because it was your post, and I looked at it for 5 minutes, and I was just like, that ruined the rest of the playoffs for me. And I ruined the rest of the playoffs. So ever since then, I got mad and everything. And I know the world of the NBA too as well because my manager is affiliated with the NBA too as well. And then I've done some stuff with the NBA too as well. So I should know this. But then there's all types of behind the scenes that people don't know. So
maybe it was an accident.
Well, you see those two ended up in the playoffs, so it wasn't that much.
So you, as well as a lot of other streetball entertainers, have had or do have the chance to play in the NBA. Why aren't you playing in the NBA? Is that something you wanted to do?
Me personally, I think it comes into two perspectives. One, there is a lot I need to learn to get to that level, and a lot I need to improve on just to contend. I know that my speed and my ball handling and my leadership is there for the NBA, but there's a lot of key aspects to where you have to contend with another NBA guard. There's a lot. There's a lot of good quotes and everything out there saying like, you know, if you're motivated, dedicated, and all that good stuff, do anything is possible. But there's reality that checks in. You know, I'm 6'1", 189, and the majority of guards are like 6'3", 210 and up in the NBA. So for me to contend with an NBA caliber point guard, I have to put on a little bit more muscle mass and then a little bit more IQ that comes into play. Another on the other end, I love what I do because the same thing with the NBA, I'm doing the same. I'm traveling around the world just like an NBA player would. I host camps just like an NBA player would. I'm playing in sold out arenas like an NBA player would. So I can compare myself to an NBA player. And I think it's just a blessing.
But you guys do have a lot of celebrities come out and play with you guys, and they talk a lot of trash too.
They do. At the end of the day, it's all fun and love. But then when it gets on the court, there's a lot of people that don't understand. Some of these celebrities that's in their different entertainment world, they can hoop. I know I can name a few off right now that Chris Brown, he can hoop. The Game, he can hoop. Kevin Hart's little funny self, he could hoop and everything too.
Tank can too. He can play.
Floyd Mayweather can hoop, and you know, a lot of people don't realize that, and it's fun. It's fun too because they're competitive and just as well as in their sport too. And even if they come playing a celebrity game or don't play, they're in the stands too, which brings a lot more people out and then makes the environment more exciting. So which is always cool, and it's been a blessing to meet different celebrities too. But
so when are you coming out to Utah?
You know, Utah is great. I would love to do like a basketball camp or clinic out there. So any of y'all want to collaborate or anything and make a great clinic, contact me. Booking email is tr221@aol.com. Contact me, book me, and then we'll make greatness in history. Or if there's any events that I could come out with the news team, I'll be happy to.
Utah Jazz making the playoffs or not?
Utah Jazz. I think they'll make the playoffs. They got a lot of good additions to the team. Derek Favors, he's from Atlanta as well, and I think y'all got a great chance. Utah Jazz. I'll see you there.
You can't just say that just because I'm in Utah right now. Is that how you really feel?
You can't just say that because you're in Utah. So that's
I know they're making the playoffs. I know they are.
Is that right, or is that what they're making you say?
No. They'll be. I think they'll be the 7th seed going into the playoffs.
I think so too. They got a lot of nice additions to the team, man. I think their scoring is going to score a lot more. They got a lot of scorers that added in. They play a lot of fundamental basketball too as well.
Yeah.
So I think they're making the playoffs.
You got Joe Johnson, Boris Diaw, George Hill. So I think we'll be good.
Yeah, George Hill actually, met him and played with him the ball up years, and he's a strong point guard. Joe Johnson, he's a scorer, like I mentioned, and so a scorer. And then Derek Favors on the post, Boris Diaw, he's a veteran, and so they got a lot of caliber players. So, hey, Utah, you got a great chance, baby.
We'll see. Before I let you go, I do want to ask you your name. How did you get your Streetball name?
Well, you have to earn your name, and there's a famous announcer. His name is Duke Tango. He's been there for years. He's from New York. He's emceed at Rucker Park, Gun Hill, all those different legendary courts. And then he started touring with And One, being the MC. He's the old baby guy. He's the one that.
Yep, I know him.
Yep, and he just came to me and said my handles had a nice little spice and a flair to it, and so I rolled with it, and then started building a brand.
Thank you, Cory, for being here with us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Brittany, and everybody out there. If you all want to follow me on Instagram at BabySauce3, and then on Facebook, Cory Sauce Brown. God bless and love all y'all.
All right. We have all the links to get to his social media sites on our website, goodforutah.com/sports. Just go ahead and click under that web extra link.